All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sideshow. My name is Mingo.
This is Tone Rizzy.
Who?
Tone Rizzy?
The hell's that?
Instead of Tone Riz, like we talked about last week, it rhymes
You
more
talked
with
about
Tone.
it.
It's more. It rhymes more with Tony. So Tone Rizzy, Tone Rizzy's in the house.
So it's Mingo and Tony. How you doing, man? How's your week?
It wasn't bad. Wasn't too bad.
You doing a little bit better with your tummy and your issue, or
Very little better. What? I think I yacked on Friday night.
oh shit?
But I was good over the weekend. But then I yacked last night. Today's what? No, last. Damn. Last night, I think. Yeah, last night.
So is it more of what you eat or how much?
It's how I feel like it's how much.
Okay.
I think I figured it out. Although the information was given to me, meaning the doctor said, don't eat 3 large meals. Eat multiple meals, multiple small meals throughout the day.
Okay.
So, I'll give you an example. Yesterday.
Well, wait a minute. If you eat 3 big meals, isn't that the same as eating 6 small meals just in condensed form?
But that's the point. It has to be condensed so it'll go down.
Okay.
Yesterday, for example, for lunch I had like half a sandwich and an apple. Okay?
A half a sandwich and an apple?
Yeah.
What are you, in kindergarten?
Well,
Was it wrapped in wax paper?
I need to. That it's fine for me. Now.
Was it just a cheese sandwich?
No, I had some ham up in
Okay.
that. And so when I got home, I was feeling a little hungry.
Okay.
And we weren't going to have dinner for about another 2 hours, maybe 3. We
Okay.
eat about between 5 and 6.
No, but that's good because that's every 3 hours you're supposed to eat, right? Like,
Okay. Well, that's the first time I ate, though, was lunch.
okay.
Not that it's a big deal. But anyways, I'm supposed to eat this fiber stuff every day.
Like Metamucil.
Yeah. And it's a tablespoon and 10 ounces of water.
I heard that stuff gets. I heard somebody talk about it on another podcast, and they said that mix it with orange juice, mix it, and then just slam it. Because if not,
For a little while, I was mixing it with Kool-Aid.
okay.
And it...
Did you say you were mixing your Metamucil with Kool-Aid?
It's not Metamucil, but it's like that. It's fiber. Yeah, what's wrong with that? I like Kool-Aid. You don't like Kool-Aid?
No, I love
Red.
Kool-Aid with your ghetto ass. That's fucking hilarious.
You need to stop with that, kid. You're making me feel like I should be on Club Shay Shay. But anyways, it was just making the Kool-Aid taste bad, and I wasn't really getting anything out of it as far as helping wise.
Okay.
So I'm back to just drinking it in water. And the problem is if you don't drink it quick, it starts to like thicken up. Not like a gravy, but more like a mucus kind of mucusy.
Oh.
And I try to drink it fast, but the problem is, if you drink something fast, your stomach feels like it gets all messed up. So, anyways, I drank it, and part of the thing it does is it makes you feel full because you just drank this junk, and I guess it kind of expands in your stomach. That's what makes it go from like the liquid to like the mucus. But in my head, I'm still hungry because I was hungry before I had it.
Metamucil is not. Is it supposed to make you feel full? I thought it was just to help you regulate your stomach to go poop.
Well, the stuff that I'm taking is more of a. It helps. It says it helps with your appetite.
Appetite suppressant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And regularity and all that kind of good stuff. So I had like a salad. I made myself a little salad, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
God damn, just half a sandwich and
No,
an apple?
I didn't say half a salad. I said
No, you said half a
had a
sandwich
small
and an
salad.
apple, and then I had a salad. Wow, dude.
So when I had the salad, my old lady came home at that point.
What dressing did you put on your salad?
It's got to be ranch, kid.
Okay.
And some croutons.
All right.
So, chopped up spinach with some carrots and cucumber,
All right.
red onion.
Oh, yeah, got to be red onion.
Yeah, and then some croutons and the ranch.
Okay.
And I chop it all up, even the spinach. For some reason, like those big leaves of spinach doesn't do it for me. I got to have it like chopped up. So I ate that. And even when I was done eating that, I was like, ugh, and my stomach started to hurt a little bit. You know, and the hurt is like when you ever been hungry and you slam a Coke?
Oh, yeah, and it just...
That's what my stomach feels like. It's like, oh. So I started to feel that. So my old lady started making dinner. She was making tacos. And my stomach was kind of turning. And she goes, you want me to make some rice? Because it doesn't look like you're ready to eat. And I was like, unless you want it, don't make it, you know, I won't. If I have some, it's going to be very little. And we'll just go to waste.
Right.
So she says, all right, I won't make it. So when she started making tacos, she goes, how many do you want? Now, I usually like crush 2 or 3 with the rice. You feel me?
Right.
So I was like, she goes, you just want one? Now, mentally, I'm like, how can I just have one? How you get full off of just one? So it's a mental thing with me right now. I got to know, yo, even though you really didn't eat anything, you're good. Your stomach is good. You're not hungry. You may not be full, but you ain't hungry. And I got to learn to take that into account. So I said, no, at least give me 2 because there's no way I could just have one. So she gave me that look. She's like, all right. So she gave me 2.
I don't want you whining later.
Right. And then when I wound up crying later because my stomach I felt too full. I was uncomfortable. It's like I told you just to eat one. So what I'm trying to say is it's a mental game with me now.
Okay.
I got to know I'm not eating like I used to. So a little bit should be enough for me, is what I'm saying.
Right. It's amazing to like if you look at all the health food stuff and they say, oh, a steak should be like the size of your fist or whatever, and like you're supposed to have a certain amount of this and a certain amount of that, and you look at it and even when people like count calories, like there was this guy that used to work with me, and he was a big dude, bro. Like he was like 6'3", but he was fucking massive. Like he was a bodybuilder and he was going to be a cop. So he was he would make himself like a turkey sandwich every day, and just bread and turkey, dry like that, bro. And maybe a little mayonnaise, but that like I never really noticed anything. It looked just like bread and turkey. And then he'd have like a little container of mixed nuts, and that was about it. Maybe an orange or something. And how does a dude your size eat just that? And because I like let's say like if I'm at home and I eat a sandwich, okay, well fuck, well I should probably make 2 sandwiches. Oh shit, I'm gonna need some chips. Shit, I need something to dip my chips in. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, you got this huge mound on your plate. And we grew up at a time where you eat everything on your plate. You know what I mean? If you ain't gonna eat it, don't ask for it. So you're right. It is a mental game, and such a tough game for especially depending on the way you grew up. You're talking about changing 52 years worth of habits super quick.
Yeah, I heard that the amount of steak you should have is a deck of cards. You go to the store and buy a deck of cards, that's how much of a steak you should have.
I'm going to go to the magic store and buy one of them big-ass decks of cards.
Like, we have steak for Mother's Day.
Okay.
Mother's Day. I probably ate half of a deck of cards worth. And some mashed potatoes. And I was good. But I'm kind of afraid to eat steak right now because that, I've been getting really jacked up off of that.
Well, and you probably don't want to get jacked up off of that because once you feel better, you're going to want to go back and tear up a steak. Even if it's just half a steak, you're going to want to tear up a piece of steak, and you're going to be like, you're just going to have the memory of yakking it up.
Yeah.
And not going to want it. Maybe that's better. I don't know.
And this is gonna be nasty, but last night was the first time I threw up, and I actually saw food like ground beef from the tacos.
So
It's usually just like liquid, you know.
because that shit was probably sitting right on top,
Yeah.
right? Oh,
And we went to on Saturday. We took my mom to her new favorite spot, even though she had only been there once. But it's her new go-to, which is the Golden Corral buffet.
Golden Corral, it's a buffet? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The one in Indio, right?
No,
Where's that one at?
there's one in Moreno Valley and there's one in San Bernardino.
Oh, okay.
We went to the one in San Bernardino. Because Moreno Valley's kind of, ghetto. Not that San Bernardino ain't.
Yeah, I was like, well,
So the Golden Corral in San Bernardino is by all the other restaurants.
San Bernardino or Moval, it's a fucking coin toss, bro.
You're right. I ain't gonna deny that.
You know what I mean?
And like I didn't eat till I got crazy. I had a slice of pizza. I had a little bit of rice. I had a chicken noodle soup and a salad. So I did good. As far as not gorging.
Right.
So, but I didn't throw up. I was good. I was straight. I'm cool. But check this out. On the way home, I was in my car. It was my brother's family, my family, my mom, and my grandfather.
In what car?
Oh, well, the boys went in my car.
Oh, okay.
The girls went in my sister-in-law's car.
Okay.
So on the way back, for about a good 5 seconds, we heard a tapping noise. Heard it. Didn't feel it. Heard it. Tap, 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 tap. 5 seconds. Maybe 10. And then it stopped. So we were all, because it was
Loud.
pretty loud. And of course, we're on the freeway. We passing cars. So we didn't know if it was a car that we had passed. But it was odd. But I had said I didn't feel nothing against the gas pedal. We didn't feel anything against the body of the car. So we just kept rolling. And then about maybe a couple more miles down the road, maybe a minute or two, started happening again. So I had my brothers, we pulled over, and we looked under the car, couldn't see anything, didn't know what it was. Jumped back in the car, started up again, started happening again. So I had my brother, roll down his window. He's on the passenger side, front seat, to see if he could hear the direction it's coming from, because we don't know where it's coming from.
Right.
We pull over again, and this time we see that the threads on the passenger side front tire are showing on the inside.
Oh, shit.
So I pull off into there's a Chevron station. So we go in there, and sure enough, dude, like maybe an inch's worth of tire had came off and was still intact, so it was like tapping
Oh, shit.
the fender well. So it was time obviously it's time to get some new tires when I get a chance. So we go to change out the tire, put the spare on, right? We're a bunch of dudes.
Right.
At this point, my sister-in-law called because they saw us pull over to see if we were okay. And so we said, yeah, we're fine. We're just going to go ahead and flip this tire, switch the tire. We should be good. Pull everything out. Spare's good. Got all my tools.
Do you have a full-size spare or is it a little baby?
A little donut.
Okay.
Bro, the lug wrench that, comes with it, a little cheapo.
Yeah.
The walls of where the socket is was too thick to fit into my rims.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, are you aware of this? Like custom rims, where the lug goes in, it's just, dude, it fits perfect.
Yeah.
There's no space. So my lug wrench wasn't fitting.
Yeah, they do that so people can't steal them.
Oh, is that right? Mm-hmm. Bro, so now we're stuck, right? I got AAA, so, I start contacting them. My sister-in-law happens to call back, and I tell her what's going on, and she goes, well, I can swing back by. And I said, sure, swing back by, because maybe your lug wrench will have a thinner wall. So she comes back. Sure enough, it's the same. It's a thick wall on the lug wrench. So I have to contact AAA. She grabs my grandfather, so he's not waiting with us. So we're waiting for AAA, and they finally show up. And the tow truck driver says, I think I'm going to have the same problem.
Oh, shit.
So sure enough, dude, none of his fucking lug wrenches work.
Really?
Dog, I'm thinking we're going to have to get it towed. And it wasn't a tow truck. It was a truck, like, because I did the app, and I said I need a tire replaced.
Oh.
So they didn't send a tow truck. They just sent, like, a service vehicle. So now I'm like, fuck, dude. Because we already waited hour 15.
Shit.
Before I even contacted him. So now we're in this for like an hour and 45. Because before, by the time we pulled everything out, pulled over, da-da-da. So he goes, I got one more idea. I got some sockets. So, bro, he pulls out his socket set. And I think it was 13/16 maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right.
It fits. Cool. So he puts it on the first one. You can hear it like that, and then it breaks.
Right.
Cool. Then the second one is the one with the key, so that's no problem. The key works perfectly. The third one breaks. The fourth one, he can't get the fucking socket on there.
No.
Something's going on. So he goes to the fifth one, breaks it loose. Cool. So now we just got to deal with that one that the socket didn't go over. He would put it on there, and you could tell, like, for some reason, it was going in at an angle. It wasn't going in perfectly straight. Don't know why. So whenever he put his breaker bar on it, his wrench, it would just come off.
It was cross-threaded.
Well, I don't know. All the other ones worked. So, bro, he took a mallet, so he started, tapping it in, and finally it held, and he broke it. So, broke it free. So, cool. Switch the tire out. He goes to tighten it back down. His, that socket wouldn't come off. He tapped it all the way down, and it wouldn't come off.
Oh, wow.
So now he's, like, spending 15 minutes trying to get it off. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, bro, can I roll? You could just take it back. Maybe I just roll with the 4 lug nuts.
Right.
So finally he says, look, man, I'm not going to be able to get this off. Do you mind if... I don't care. I'll just get another one. But I just don't know if you mind,
rolling forward.
rolling with it. I was like, no, rolling with my
with the
socket
lug nut
on there.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, I don't care. I just need to get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm thinking, did you spend the last 15 minutes because you were worried that I was going to worry about your socket being on there? I'm like, bro, let's get on the roll. Let's do this.
Yeah, but he's right, though. Like, what if you're driving and that fucker comes off? You send that motherfucker flying and going through somebody's window?
Oh, you think?
Hell yeah. Go through somebody's window, be faster than a fucking gun, bro.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Legalities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. But it was a trip because, I got 22s, and this donut is tiny, kid.
Yeah, you're fucking all leaning.
Yeah, I'm leaning, so, like, the steering wants to lean towards the right, so I'm, like, driving, like, pulling towards the left.
That's a front-wheel drive, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
So I wound up having to get on new tires.
So, and you already got all the tires on there already now?
Yeah, I had to order them.
Did they figure out what was up with the lug nut? Why it was...
Oh, no, the tire spot just gave me another lug nut because they couldn't get it off either.
Oh, wow.
I don't necessarily think they tried. But they told me because, they were, we were talking, chopping it up, and I told them what happened. I said, by the way, what size lug? Because it was, like I said, the only reason I know is a 13/16 because I saw it. And I was like, hey, is there any special socket that I'm supposed to be getting? Because I'm going to have to get one to keep with me.
Right.
And he was like, no, they used the right one, 13/16. I think that's what it was. He goes, but you're better off getting a 21 millimeter. So when I got home, sure enough, kid, I got a 21 millimeter in my tool chest. So I threw that in the car, but now I just need to get one of them breaker bars.
Did you
keep it
get
there.
the one you have? Is it chrome?
Yes.
I'm just gonna throw. You might want to consider. I mean, how often are you really gonna get a flat? So maybe the chrome one's just fine. But because when I had all my other cars, I always had a breaker bar in it because I always had rims. So I always had a breaker bar with the same ones that they use at the tire place. They're a hardened steel, but they're doubles. One side is one socket. You flip it over and you can use the other side and it's a different socket. Have you ever seen those?
No.
So they have these. They're double sockets, and you can use those like if you had it in your car with your breaker bar. That way you make sure you can get out. You know what I mean?
But what's the other size for?
Just in case you need it for something else or somebody else's.
And where do you attach the breaker bar to if one's... Because usually one side is the half-inch chuck or whatever.
Right. It'll attach.
All of it.
Most.
But what's wrong with the chrome ones?
They're just not as hard as the hardened steel.
What color is that? The black ones?
Yeah, the black ones. So if you're out and you're trying to use it, the last thing you want to do is have that motherfucker strip or split on you. You know what I mean? That would be even fucking more aggravating.
The one I got is the short socket.
Okay.
And it fit perfectly. I mean, went in there.
That's what I was saying too, though. Like, I mean, how often are you really going to use it? Like,
No, don't get me wrong. I'll probably think about that. But the question I was gonna ask was, should I stick with that short one or should I go with the long one? Because my theory is, if you get the long one, you're trying to break it free. Wouldn't it have a better chance of coming off?
yes, it has a better chance of slipping on the small one.
Right. No, on the big one.
No,
The
because
long one.
right, because the long one's going to get more of the it's going to get more of the nut than a small one.
No, well, like I said, the small one went right in perfectly.
Even after you put the bar on.
Oh no, I don't have the bar yet.
So because you got to remember that just because you have that length, once you put that breaker bar in there, sometimes that nipple sticks in a little further than just the socket piece. That makes sense?
Yeah.
I've always used the longer one, but I mean, if you feel comfortable using the small one, that would be fine too. I mean, if you feel it'll do it.
I mean, I don't even know how long I've had these tires for. I mean, since I got the rims, of course. Been a good 5, 6, 7 years.
You've been rolling those tires for 6, 7 years?
At least.
No, you don't drive the car that
I
much
don't drive
either.
it at all.
Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, I used to, when I had mine, I had a Honda Accord for a small amount of time, and I had it so low, I would go through tires like once every couple of weeks
What?
because the tires were cambered so much that it was just riding on that inner
Cambered?
edge.
What does that mean?
So have you ever looked at a car? And so your tires are supposed to be straight up and down.
Right.
Then you have what's called a camber and toe. So your camber is what makes your tires go like this. Your toe,
People listening don't
so
know
they
what's
stick out. So the bottom of your tire sticks out further than the top of your tire.
So the top of the tire goes in and the bottom of the tire goes out.
Correct, and
Angle.
it's also known as being butterflied.
Okay.
Or you have what's called toed, kind of like being pigeon-toed. The front of your tire squeezes in. Instead of being straight, they pigeon-toe.
Why do they do that? Why do you want it to do that?
You don't want it to do that. You
Oh.
want it to be straight, but you have an adjustment so that it'll go straight. That's why you have to have your car aligned, and that's what makes your tires stay straight. Because if they're not, you have that same problem that you did, where you're wearing out the inside of your tire. So when you do that, it could be that the tire's not balanced right, or that the car's not aligned correctly.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. The tires, I probably should have replaced some
Long time
Yeah,
ago.
not a long time ago, but they were the threads were kind of not
Well,
so deep.
especially on those, they crack. The bigger it seems like the bigger tire, and the rubber's a little bit softer sometimes. Although they seem harder, and it's softer, and they crack. I had the ones I had on the Cadillac, on the Escalade before I sold it. They cracked, and it was giving me a really rough ride on the car. So you gotta watch it, especially out here with the sun and shit like that. Like when I lived in Phoenix, out in Arizona, bro. Every day on your way to work or on your way home, there was a car flipped over on the side of the road because when it gets hot, air comes out of your tire. So you have to make sure that you adjust the air in your tire, and you have to make sure that you have enough tread on there, because if you drive with a low tire, low air pressure, you break the little metal strands that are in the tire, and it creates a bubble, because now the air is getting past that break and it's creating that bubble. And if you drive on that bubble, especially like here in Phoenix, and it's fucking 120 degrees outside, and you're doing 80, 90 miles an hour on the freeway, that's just going to heat up and get soft and pop. And next thing you know, you're upside down on the side of the road
Damn.
trying to figure out what happened.
Let's rewind right quick. You go through tires once a week?
I was going through them not maybe once every 2 weeks.
And what would you do?
I would just go get used tires. I stopped buying new ones. Couldn't afford it.
So, how could you even afford used ones every other twice a month? Once a month even.
Like $20 a tire. You'd come up, We have friends that, they'd do the midnight sale where you'd go in and tell them what you need. They'd put them behind the dumpster. I'm not saying I partook. I'm just saying that I heard that these kind of things happen. It's crazy. But, we used to roll around everywhere. Like, we were here in Morongo Valley. We'd go all the way up north to go to car shows. We'd go to Phoenix, to Lake Havasu, all the way up to, like, Magic Mountain. Before you get to Bakersfield, there's a canyon in there that you go and, dude, like, we'd go everywhere, all over the place. Up the coast, down the coast. Shit, we were all over. Choice Concepts was all over the place back then.
Must be nice, kid, 'cause I could never afford anything like that.
All
that gas.
Well, I tell you what, back then, gas and insurance was about all I gave a shit about. So like I said, we'd go, and that's when hamburgers were 25 cents.
That's true.
At McDonald's, I'd stock up for the week or the month, and we'd be good to go. And then, as long as I had enough money to get to the next place, or I'd have, wait for sales on paint so that I could paint the undercarriage when I go to a show. The undercarriage is clean. I had enough for all my polishes and waxes. That's all that mattered, bro.
So, this is a car club, correct?
Correct.
You'd have to pay dues?
You know what? I don't remember. I think we did.
What were the dues for?
They were just to help with, like if we get together to go do a meeting, or to pay so there's this thing called the Southern California Mini Truck Council. And that was, and what they did is they were like the governing party to all the lowrider clubs in Southern California. And they would put together their, car shows. So so they would have to rent a hall every month so that they can hold these meetings. And at the meetings, they had a council, so they had, the president, the vice president, secretary, what was the accountant called? Whatever and you had sergeant of arms, and you had all these different titles that each person had that were voted in. And then, you'd have to pay, and if you'd pay, when you'd go to the car club, you'd pay either to go and stay the night for the 3 nights, or you'd go and you'd pay, and then you paid to do the car show as well. It was dope. It was a lot of fun, dude.
I don't know. Paying dues like that.
Oh, we weren't paying a lot back then. I mean, $20 a month or something like that.
$20 is still $20.
No, I get it. Yeah, but what do
Shoot.
you spend $20 a month on now?
Well, now $20 now is not the same as $20 back then. $20 back then was probably like $50 or $60 now.
It's like half of one of your fancy steak dinners.
I don't go out to eat that much.
It's not the way our friends tell the story. But yeah, dude, that would be. It was. We were everywhere, and then we had here, Yucca Valley, here, and I think there was one in Phoenix, a chapter in Phoenix. So there was 3 of us. It was 3 chapters to Choice Concepts at the time. And then we used to, the guy that did our windows, his name was Fast Eddie, out of Yucca. That dude. And why is it that everybody that paints, or anybody that's ever called Fast Eddie, is not anywhere near fast at all? Cool cat, bro. Super nice guy, but not. Yeah. All right. What did you want on it? All right. Yeah. 2 days. Okay. No problem. Yup. And just never got out of that speed. But man, that motherfucker was a wizard with some paint and an airbrush. And he had his own truck that he was building in his garage, and it was like he'd do shit to it and then he'd tear it apart, and he'd do shit to it and tear it apart. Like all the guys were like that. Right? They'd get it to a certain point. Oh man, I should have done, and then they'll tear it apart and do this, or they'll do that to it.
I remember. I think you said you hung out with him in car clothes. Jeff Dixon.
Yeah.
He had a little Chevy Blazer.
The little brown Blazer.
Brown Blazer. And I remember his windshield was tinted.
And he had the Chevy logo in the front window. Yeah.
How you get away with something like that?
We got tickets every time we all went out.
Oh, really?
All of us, yep. There was one time where we were driving to Lake Havasu for a car show, and we had just crossed into fucking Needles, and there was a highway patrol waiting for us, and one got passed up and got in front of all of us, and there was probably about 30 of us in line driving out there at the same time. So he got in front of the guy in the front, and then another cop came in the back, and they just started handing out tickets from the back and the front, and met in the middle and let us go.
He found something wrong with everybody's car.
Everybody's car was too low, too loud, tinted windows, like modified exhaust, all kinds of shit. No front license plate, no seat belt. I don't know how many no seat belt and no front license plate tinted window tickets I got.
Huh.
When I left town in 97, I had amassed about $30 some odd tickets, maybe more than that, and I'd never paid them. And fuck it, whatever. I think it was over $7,000 or almost $8,000 by the time I went to court to take care of it. Because I had, had all the violations, failure to appear, failure to pay, failure to appear, several of them on each ticket. So I finally went in front of the judge, and I was just fucking young and dumb, and wasn't anywhere, wasn't making regular money to come in and take care of it, and I just young and dumb. I just gotta owe it to that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't explain any other reason than that would be ridiculous for me to try to say I was just young and stupid. I think I walked out of there paying $600 and covered everything.
How, why?
Why what?
Why would they let you do that? It's from 7,000. Let's say 5.
You throw yourself on the mercy of the court, and you finally showed up, and you know what I mean? Because they were all fucking ridiculous charges, and I was able to show them. I said, "Look," I said, "some of these are back-to-back tickets on one day, or on the next day." Because when I used to leave, I'd leave my house, and there was a sheriff that would wait for me in that little dirt patch right across the street from Circle K. And as soon as I'd turn on the street, he'd pull in behind me. Modified exhaust, too loud, too low, no front license plate, tinted windows, no seatbelt. I was like, well, you got to choose one, dude. You can't give me for both. So what are you talking about? I said, well, are my windows tinted? Yeah. Are they too dark? Yeah. Then how'd you see I didn't have a seatbelt on?
Not bad.
Oh, you think you smart? Okay. We'll see what else we can find. Every day, bro. Every day. He'd catch me on my way up to work because I would work out in Desert Hot Springs. And I'd leave, so I started driving over, 4 streets. But the fucking car, I had straight pipes on it. I had a little cherry bomb, so there was basically no exhaust. It was just a straight pipe out the back. So as soon as you stepped on it, and you weren't even going fast, you weren't fucking moving, but it sounded like you were blowing the ass end out of your car flying down the street because it was just a straight pipe. And it was so quiet out here. Oh, he's leaving for work. So either he'd catch me there or he'd catch me in front of that blue market, the La Fleur market right there. And he'd pull me over. I said, it's just because my fucking car is yellow, huh? Well, you wanted the attention. Like, motherfucker.
Okay, but now, I'm just going to side with the judicial system on this one. How are you going to say it was for the same thing? You got a ticket Monday for, let's say, your car being too loud. Okay?
No, he'd write everything on one ticket.
Okay. Windows tinted. He wrote you a ticket on Wednesday for your windows being tinted.
Because if he gives you because they're all fix-it tickets for the most part.
Okay, well, fix it.
But that doesn't mean that you can come back the next day and pay me for it.
Why not?
Because I have 30 days, 45 days to go to court. So if you're not going to allow me those 45 days to go to court and to get it fixed, what are you doing?
What do you need to go to court for?
To show that I made the fixes and have it signed off and pay whatever the problem. Whatever
but the 45 days is for the court system because they can't get you in on the next day. You got to make an appointment.
NMP. And back then, bullshit. 97, they couldn't get you the next day. Come on.
Well, all I'm saying is, you got a ticket. Handle it. Let's get this done.
Okay, goody.
I'm gonna give you the following week.
Did you ever have a late library book? You fucking pansy. Jesus.
Well, you coming up with all kinds of excuses. Oh, you're not giving me enough time. Man, get a razor blade and rip it off.
The motherfucker was harassing me. And fuck a razor blade. It's 120 degrees out here. So, yeah, we need some dark-ass windows.
Who's the pansy now? Oh, it's 120 degrees out here.
Oh, I'm not the one that work outside cleaning pools. Shit. I don't like the heat. I'm not going to be outside working no more.
Did I ever say about this time when I got a fix-it ticket for windows tinted?
Really?
On my Volkswagen?
No.
And dude we grew up with when we moved out here, my brother's age, was a cop. He was a rookie at the time. But he was still a cop.
Right.
All you need is a cop to sign the ticket. You still got to pay it. But sign the ticket that it was done. Take it to the office. Take it to the window. Here's been fixed. Here's my fee. Thank you. Goodbye. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I didn't want to take my tint off. So I went to him. Knocked on his door. Hey, what's going on? How you been? Da-da-da. Long time. Yup. Yo, I got this fix-it ticket for my tinted windows out there. He's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah, you think you can sign for me? Sure, Anthony, no problem. Oh, perfect, man. Thanks. As soon as you get it done, just bring it back, and and I'm like, oh, okay. So I was like, this guy, and so I knew somebody who knew a cop. He said, hey, I got a cop buddy. Maybe it was his neighbor. Hey, man, give me a 6-pack and the ticket. I'll get it signed off for you. I said, here's the 6-pack. Here's the ticket. Within a week, came back. Here's your ticket, signed. Cool. To this day, I know our buddy, who's now retired, and I bust his balls about it.
Wow.
You know what he says? I'm sorry, man. I was a rookie. I didn't know. I was playing by the rules.
Yeah, I mean, plus he probably, fuck, if I do it for Tony gonna go tell everybody. I'm gonna have a fucking line out my front door. And it's, well, oh shit, dog, I haven't seen you in forever, man. Everything good? Cool. Can you sign this ticket for me?
That's exactly how it went. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. That's tough, dude. Like you remember people sometimes when you need them, and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
How am I gonna butter them up and get this done all in one conversation? How am I gonna make this happen? Am I good enough to do that? So we talked about before that I was gonna tell you some things from my old place of unemployment. So, we served what they call an underserved part of the community. What they mean by that was people that had just arrived from crossing the border, maybe had been here a couple of years or whatever, but were flying under the radar, maybe didn't have a social. All they had was an ITIN number.
I-10?
Yeah, ITIN. So it's an individual tax identification number. So let's say you came into the U.S., you're not illegal. You're legal to work. You have a work visa, but you have to report your taxes. So they give you like a placeholder or basically a social, but it's not a social because you're not a citizen. Make sense?
Yeah.
So you have a social so that you can report your taxes.
I mean, they're just doing it because they want to get paid.
Right.
Of course, yeah.
Right. So, and some people that work in the fields don't make a lot of money. They make $500-600 a week, and they have a family. Both the husband and wife work out in the fields, and they do it. But some people that work out in the fields make a shit ton of money. Like you're talking $7-8 grand a month, because
Damn.
because they're like the shift leader, and some guys just because they can hustle because you get paid by the pound or by the basket or whatever it is that certain crop is how it's harvested or however they decide to judge it by, right? So it was always interesting to me that it seemed like the people that had the least amount of money usually didn't argue about fees. They didn't argue about money. They just, okay. And one of the things that the company did, and however, I'm going to preface it with this, it is legal, what I'm about to tell you that they did. But ethically speaking, very wrong. So what they would do is, because we didn't have any cash in the stores, so your payment was your payment, and there was never any change on the payment. So it was all rounded up or rounded down. It was never any until the last payment. The last payment, because of interest, could have change on it. Okay? So you come in to make your payment, and your payment's $146. And all you have was $350s. Well, you'd either have to go get change so that you could pay just the 146, or you'd have to leave the 150. Right?
But the $4 still went to their
The
account.
$4 would still go to your account. However, let's say you came in and your normal payment's 146. Well, now your payment this time is 146.28. Right? All you have is 150. Sorry, sir, we don't have any change. If you want to pay the 150, they'll mail you your change in a check. Okay? No, let me go get some change and I'll just pay. All right. So they'll go and they come back and it's what I say 146.28.
Okay.
So 146.28, they give you 147. Okay, well I don't have any change. So you can pay the 147 and pay off the account, but I won't be able to give you your 62 cents back. Or your 72 cents back. Okay, that's fine. So you figure on a normal day, 2 to 3 people will pay off an account. On average, they would overpay 50 cents per person.
Okay.
So that's $1.50 for each store. Overpayment each day. Because they're not going to mail you back that change in a check because it's less than $1. Make sense?
But is it still being applied to the balance?
No, because you're paying it off
Okay. So you're talking about people with the last payment.
with the last payment.
Okay.
So they come in, the payment was $146.28. They'd give me $147, and that's it. There was no change
Okay.
exchange. So the company comes up on 72 cents.
Right.
So let's call it an average of 50 cents per person, at least 3 times a day that they paid extra to pay off their account.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
So it's $1.50 times 30 is what?
$4.50.
41.50, right?
Okay.
Okay, so 41.50 times 300.
Damn.
Like
That's 12 grand, a little over 12.
12 grand a month times 12.
almost 150 grand.
150 grand a year is what they were making on people that wouldn't come in with change. On people paying extra just to be done. Instead of going and getting the 26 cents or 28 cents, they would just pay the $1, leaving you the extra change.
Right. Okay, I see where you're coming from, but to the individual leaving that on the table, that's nothing. That's 72 cents. I get it what you're saying on what the company's getting at the end of it, but
Right.
what you're trying to say, the individual is being cheated, but in all actuality, the individual's only being cheated out of 72 cents.
Well,
I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. The company's getting over, but
yes, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, they weren't doing anything wrong
right.
because it's legal, but ethically, when you look at the fact that they're making $150,000 extra a year just on overpayments. Now, you're saying, oh, well, it's 72 cents, but if you stop and you look at it, okay? So let's say somebody came in and they borrowed 10 grand.
Okay.
They're paying back $19,800. So in over 4 years, 5 years. So they're paying $9,800 in interest. Not to mention their late fee if they're late. Not to mention the extra interest that they pay if they're late because they're being charged interest on a larger balance, so they're paying more interest. Yada, yada, yada. Right?
Right.
So then at the end, when they pay off and they don't have the change and they're pissed off, they just want to be done, and they give you whatever it is, but it's under $1. So they're just like, they don't stop to think, well, how many other people are doing this? It's a little frustrating to watch the company come up on 150 grand. Like, you don't see anything wrong with the company doing that? You think it's fine? It's only 72 cents?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
What about like Walmart when they have things on their little articles or their pamphlets that's on sale? And then they go through and they ring it up and you don't catch it, but it rings up at regular price. And the company's making regular money when everybody else or somebody else that catches it gets it cheaper, or you're supposed to get it cheaper because that's the ad. Is that wrong?
No. Because you bought this particular item because it was on sale. So it's on you, the consumer, to take note that you're getting it at that sale price. I mean, a computer flaw is a computer flaw. But if you know, like back in the day, you had a coupon that you had to actually physically have to give them to get that 50 cents off that Heinz bottle. Now, had you not given them that coupon, they're not going to ask you for it. I know what I'm saying is not making sense, but I'm just trying to get there.
I understand what you're saying.
So, is it wrong? I mean, it's one of those things that, oh, shit. I have to go back with my receipt and say, yo, this was supposed to be on sale. I want, my discount and my refund, and they'll give it to you.
But how many people, and I think this is what they bank on, it's kind of the same thing where, like, rebates. Oh, yeah, you just got to mail that in. How many people are really going to fucking mail it in?
If you, again,
I know.
It, wow. And it's one of those things that how many people had not received it say, hey, Joe Store, I haven't received my rebate. What's the status?
You're such a douche.
How's that being douchey? If you want something, you got to make sure you get it. You can't rely on somebody else giving it to you.
You're absolutely right. But you absolutely but the problem is that you put no. You just let the company do whatever they want and fucking if nobody catches it, hey, you came up, good job, great.
No, I wouldn't say that, but again, I think you're biased against the company. Whereas the way I look at it is, if I were to tell you, hey, I can't. When you used to buy a fucking hot dog off a dude on the street, yo, 75 cents for a hot dog. Oh, here's $1. Yo, I ain't got change. So either A, I'm keeping the 25 cents, or B, my apologies, but you have to give me 75 cents exactly.
That's what it is. You, Mr. fucking tipper, don't see the problem. Oh, fuck it, it's just a tip. I mean, what's 25 cents amongst friends? But there's a big difference between a guy on the corner selling a hot dog and getting an extra 25 cents.
Principle's still there.
But it's different.
The principle is I don't, consumer, I don't make change. I don't have change to give you.
But it's different. Because this company's already making an astronomical amount off of you with the interest that they charge. Yes, it's they're doing it because they're taking a bigger chance because, whatever your legal status is or whatever, right? I get it.
No, it's not necessarily the legal status. You have the opportunity to go anywhere you want to borrow money. I could do this for you on these terms. I'll be more than happy to do business with you. These are my terms. I'm not making you come to me. All I'm saying is I'll be more than happy to do business with you.
Well, sure, they make you come to them because they're other companies don't won't provide you a loan using just an ITA number.
So should you be mad at those other companies versus the company that you're dealing with?
Well, no, because if they don't have a social, then
So what I'm saying is you're getting mad that the company made 72 cents off of somebody.
no, I'm getting upset that the company. I'm saying that it's unethical that they made $150,000 a year off of people that
No,
obviously
off of
people that
change.
off of people that are struggling and that came to your company for help, but yet you still the $6,000 or $7,000, $9,000 in interest that you made wasn't enough. You have to take an extra fucking 75 cents. Like, come on, dude, really? Do you not? Do you,
I know I get it, but again,
but fuck them.
no, not at all. It's to the individual consumer. It's like you see an ant carrying a grain of sand
Why would an ant carry a grain of sand?
to make an anthill.
Okay.
It's like I don't mind that ants taking that grain of sand, but then you see the anthill, you can see what it can become. Again, I'm not sure if what I'm trying to say is coming out right. Let me take a different stand. Let me take a different. Let me ask you this, okay? Let me ask you this. Let's say to pay off that balance, it was they needed to pay $100.99. They can't give you that penny back.
Okay.
Does that bother you? Let's say it was just a penny. It's not 72 cents.
Now, look. If I went in somewhere and I didn't have the correct change and it was 99 cents and I had to pay and I left an extra penny, the penny doesn't bother me.
Okay.
It's the fact that it's a penny 3-4 times a day at 300 different locations, and they're making a shit ton of money just because they don't have change in the store.
But they're actually trying to help you. They're trying to save your life.
That's why that's why these people were paying 36% interest.
They're trying to save your life
How?
by not keeping cash in the store so you won't get ripped off. So you should be thankful that you don't have all this loose change, ones, fives, to give to consumers, because then they know you got cash, and at the end of the day, they might want to, somebody might want to come and.
You know what? You know what? Thank you for pointing that out and bringing that back to my attention, because you're absolutely right.
Again, I get what you're saying. However, if we do not carry change. That's just store policy.
Oh, but we'll fucking take change. What kind of bullshit is that?
No, come back tomorrow with the correct amount. And
Well, but that's what I'm saying though. If you come in and your normal payment's $146, but to pay it off, it's $146.28. Now I got to take 28 cents. Bitch, we don't have change.
exactly.
But you want me to take change? Now I got to take that
No, I
change. I
don't.
got to put it in a bag, and I got to.
I don't want you to take change.
I'll
I
tell
just
you
want
what.
you to pay
Come
what
back
you
when
owe.
that shit is a round number.
I just want you to pay me what you owe me. That's all.
Which is this fucking machine says there's change. So now I got to take change.
No, but I don't take change. I'm sorry. I don't give change. I can't give you change back. I'm
Right.
So
I'm going to
sorry.
go make change and come back and pay that 28 cents. What you going to do with the 28 cents?
I'm going to apply it to your account like it's supposed to be.
Right, but then what do you do with it? Because you don't take it. So what do you you don't have change.
Drop
what do
it
you
in
do?
the safe where it belongs.
Yeah, and then I got fucking at the end of the night. I got to make a fucking bag.
Let me tell you something. Go to YouTube and type in convenience store robberies. That could be you. But it's not you because they don't give change.
Motherfuckers. I just, you know what, dude? I've always thought that was just such a shady practice.
Okay, let me ask you this.
I understand why.
No. Hold on. Time out. Do you think they do that specifically for that reason?
No, but I don't know if I want to tell you exactly why. The problem is that so when this company first started, they didn't have any managers in the store. And they hired mostly immigrant women that just arrived here and paid them a decent salary and paid them really good commission to run their stores. They found that most of them didn't know how to make change. That's why they didn't carry change in their store. Part of the reason why.
That's how it started.
That's part of the reason why, yeah.
Okay.
Because, oh my God, dude. I remember asking, dude, why don't we have fucking change in the store? I said, why don't we give people change back? This makes no sense. And he says, well, we don't want to have, cash floating around in the stores.
Thank
That
you.
makes sense. I get it. He said, but look at how much trouble sometimes we have just balancing at the end of the night, and we don't have to exchange money. Like if somebody came in, they wanted to make a payment, right? Like I took a payment, and then you were next in line, and instead of putting the money directly into the machine, I left it in my drawer so that I could take your payment, and then I'd go. Let's say your payment was $30. All you had was $40. All you had was two 20s. But the guy before you paid two 20s and a 10. Or paid a 20 and a 10. Or two 10s. Now I can't even fucking make change. So I couldn't take a 10 out of the drawer and give it to you so that your payment was 30.
Okay.
You had to come in with what you wanted to pay. There was no making change, whether I had cash in my drawer or not. So then sometimes people would come in, and because we don't give out change, they would come in, they're making their payment, and $135, and they give you $150. All right, so you want to put $150? Yeah. All right, cool. So you put $150 in, and then they're sitting there, where's my change? Well, sir, we don't have change. What do you mean you don't have change? When you give me money, I don't have money to give you back. No change. Right? I said, look, it's posted right here on the drawer. We tell you that when you get the loan. We've never had any change in the store. Yada, yada. It's been applied to your account. So then they leave all pissed off because they thought they were getting $15 back, and now it's applied to their account.
You see, and you're kind of proving my point for me.
What's that?
The people, the consumers, are aware of this from day one.
They should be, yes.
Now they choose not to remember it, or not choose, but they just don't remember it. I guarantee you they're going to remember after that.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the customer doesn't have any fault. Like, they shouldn't, hey, it's $146.28. Cool, let me go get change. I'll come back with $146.28 to pay the final payment. If they go and they choose to just get ones and pay you $147, cool, whatever. Who am I to tell you, hey, save yourself 72 cents or whatever the fuck it is? I get it. What I'm saying is there has to be something like it feels so wrong for the company to come up $150,000 a year just because people won't go get change or because they don't offer change.
I just figured you out, kid.
What?
You're that dude that you could be like in an office setting.
Here we go.
And you pay the new kid to go buy everybody lunch. Here's $10 for my combo meal. Everybody pitches in $10.
Yep.
And then when the kid comes back,
Where my change?
You're the one that says, "Where's my change?"
What's wrong with that shit? He better have my change. Or he gonna come out of pocket an extra $1.
You're that dude that goes out to dinner with his friends, and everybody puts in 20, you're like, mine was only 17. I want my 3 back.
No, I'd throw the 20 down and be like, hey, that's got tip in it too. Shoot, you gonna know where I'm coming from. I just it amazes me that I out of everybody, I thought you'd have been up in arms about that. Oh fuck yeah! Like Jesus Christ, I can't believe they do that. And even with Walmart, like I can't believe that you're okay with Walmart because somebody's got to go in and set all those prices. It's not that it's a computer error; it's somebody just hasn't put it in the computer yet.
But you have to also remember.
Oh, here we go. What do I got to remember?
You're talking about Walmart.
What does that mean? They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Yeah, at the top. But when it comes trickling down to the individual stores, you got to watch your back on everything.
You ain't got to work there. If you don't like what they pay
you got to watch your back on everything. If you want something that's on sale, you got to make damn sure when they ring it up, it's the sale price. You're dealing with Walmart.
Have you seen that shit online where they talk about? Sorry, I grabbed a piece of ice in my mouth. Sorry. People are going to Walmart to buy chicken or meat or whatever, and they're in the self-serve line, and it says that it's 4 pounds of chicken, and that it's this amount of money, and they put it on a scale to weigh it, and it's only 2 pounds.
Oh, now that's wrong.
That's fucking gangster. Yeah. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, because you're
flat out lying.
Yeah, you're not getting what is supposed to be there. Now that's wrong. But still, how do you know that somebody before you didn't stick their hands in that package and took a couple drumsticks out and tightened them?
Because it's saran wrapped. It's tightened. Come on, Tony. Relax. Now you being ridiculous just to be ridiculous. Jeez almighty.
You just want to go against the man on everything.
I feel like that lately.
And hey, this is commerce, kid. Again, you just have to, number one, follow the rules. I don't make change. Period. Come in here and your donation is appreciated at the end of the day.
Well, look, if people just want to make donations, they could just hand the money right over. They ain't got to pay it to my work.
They are handing it over. It's not up to them what you do with it.
Oh, so you say, oh, okay. So I should have gone and got change myself, and then I'd be...
No, you know why? Because 72 cents times 3 is what? $1.50? I don't think you'd want... No, $2.25.
$2.25. Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'd want to go through all that work for $2.25 a day.
But $2.25 times 30?
No, well, first of all, you ain't there 30 days out of the month.
Okay, so
5 days a week.
Okay, so let's say 20. That's $40 a month. So that's an extra $480 a year.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be willing to do that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm not.
See, and that's what I mean. It's the individual. When you're looking at 72 cents from person A, 72 cents for person B, 72 cents for person C, yeah, it is what it is.
I can't believe
it's
that
a
you're
loophole.
I can't believe that you're like behind the big conglomerate company, like the big fucking big business, as opposed to the little guy. Like, blow me away. Nope. I thought that you were with the people, but
yeah, but it's like you walk into a restaurant that says no shirt, no shoes, no service.
You're
getting all pissed off.
Let me ask you a question. How that MAGA hat feel? I'm just checking. Because you acting, well, honestly, you acting like a Biden right now, but that's cool, though. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that fucking job, bro. Something else.
That the only story you're going to give us?
Yeah, what else you want to know? Tell me.
I don't know. I mean, you were saying, I'm going to spill all the beans in 3 months.
I just got to be careful. I don't want to get fucking letters in the mail and shit.
But I mean, you still don't understand why they closed shop down here, considering the amount of customers they have.
So I think it was a couple of things. So they went on the New York Stock Exchange a couple years ago, and they were doing okay. But what happened is they were making a move to become A, more digital, and B, to become more like a bank. But what happened was, in the plight to do that, this company always did what I always said, like they would throw a spaghetti noodle on the wall to see if it was ready and see if it would stick, right? Because they would try new shit and it never worked. Instead of figuring it out really and spending time, they would be like, it seemed like they were walking by each other in the hallway, be like, hey, we should do credit cards. Cool, go ahead and start it. Send out the memo. Huh? You know what I mean? Because they could never get the shit off the ground. So it was almost like they forgot the customers that they were serving, and were trying to do a different kind of customer. Because most of their customers were like first or second generation immigrants. They weren't.
And this is company wide, not just the Valley?
Correct.
Okay.
So here in town, first of all, most of our stores probably start from the San Bernardino area north. So you're talking, San Bernardino, Riverside, Fontana, Ontario, LA, East LA, North LA, all the way down into San Diego, right? And you had one regional manager covering all of that area. So if you have a manager that's in that area, he could get 4, 5, 6 stores in a day. Or she could hit 6 stores in a day. But if they had to come out here, there's 2 stores in the Valley, which was Cathedral City and mine. And then the next one was in Calexico, which is another 2 hours south of Coachella, or 2 hours from here. So if she came down here to go over stuff or audit us or whatever, you're talking she'd come down, and instead of paying her to stay the night, she would come down, she would drive back, and then she would come back down again. You're talking 1 store a day, because it took her 2 hours to get here, 2 hours to get back, and depending on what her findings are, or if the store's in shambles or it's in good shape or whatever it is, would cause that issue.
How was your store rated on a scale of 1 to 10? And be honest.
As far as what?
As far as
my
if
store
it was a mess or not.
It was probably like an 8.
Okay. Let me ask you this, and don't get all macho on me.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't get all toxic masculinity on me.
It's the only way I know how to be. It's who I am. What you want?
If they came back and said, we made a mistake, there's money out here to be made, there's customers out here to be served, we're going to reopen, Migo, we want you to come back. Are you going back?
Yeah, but we'd have to sit and talk about certain things, because so what happened is when I first came on, I had talked to the guy that was hiring me, and we agreed on an annual salary. Okay? Well, I wasn't a salaried employee. I was hourly. And they didn't let us have our 40 hours. We were capped at 37 hours a week. So I wasn't earning what I was first promised. Now, when I left the company, I was above top step because I had been there over the years, and they kept giving me raises. So I was a little bit above top step. So, but my store absorbed Indio when they closed Indio. So, and when I started, it was like just above 5 million. And when I walked out, when we closed the store, we were at $11 million in receivables. My turnover rate I was there 6 years. I think I've lost 2 people in 6 years. 2 people that quit. And that's about it. Like, I mean, as far as performance, there was nothing there. Like I was top 5 for the company month after month. We had what was called an NPS score, which is like your customer service score. And national average, I think, was in the 70s, and we were always in the high 80s, low 90s. So, for me, I think the store was always performing well. I don't think there was ever really any issues. There was a couple of months during the summer that it got a little rough. When the pandemic hit, it was rough. It was rough when, right around the time my dad passed, my mind wasn't in it, and they kept trying to get me to go out and outreach, which was go outside the front door and pimp and pander for customers. Well, to me, that devalues what you're doing. Now, if you're a phone company, or if you're the ice cream shop, okay.
Is there a commission for a new account opened?
Yes, but it's shared for the store. It's not individual. Shit, if it was individual, I'd be snagging fools off their car. Come on, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I think that's when you say they wanted you to go out in the street and try to bring in more business, I would have just assumed it was commission based, and
right,
everyone you brought in.
Yeah, no, they wanted us to. We just shared everybody that was. We just shared whoever came in. It was a store total. Store had to hit so many, and then they had like a pot of what the commission would be for that store. This is how much you're allotted if you hit this many, and then you get so much more per person after that, right? And then what they do is they take the amount of hours that you worked divided by how many customers, and then they decide how much of the pie you get, which was devised by the guy that used to run our area, and for some reason they took him off of being our manager, and they took him to the home office and had him be in charge of doing the incentive program.
So, Mingo, we're going to open the store. We're going to resume everything the way it was. We could discuss your salary increase at a different point in time. But right now, we just need to open it back up to get this ball rolling.
And you know what? I don't have a problem doing that, but we don't even have to. You don't have to give me a raise right now or whatever. But I need to work my 40 hours. I need to have at least my 38 every 2 weeks or every week. I mean, because if not, I'm paying to go work for you. Because after I paid to drive down here at $6 a gallon, I'm paying to come to work. And if I'm doing it for 34 hours or 33 hours a week.
That's a problem there. You can't be blaming them because you got to drive to work. Take the bus.
You fucking tripping? I've never ridden a bus, first of all. Second of all...
Remind me, I got a story about a bus, but go ahead.
Second of all, the problem is that you took my hours away. Because it's not a problem if I was making what you said I was going to make when I got the job. It wouldn't be a problem if as a full-time employee, I was making my 40 hours a week.
Just move closer and walk to work.
I've already bought the house. Why would I do that?
Just
Why would I
sell
move
the house
closer?
And buy another one.
You're
People
tripping.
do it all the time.
You're fucking tripping. You're stupid. I can't even believe that.
No, but the
How
point.
how does that make sense?
It makes sense because you're whining. Because
I'm whining.
because you got to pay $6 a gallon of gas.
I thought we was negotiating. You said, "Hey, you want me back? Okay, well, this is what it's going to take." I don't need to justify why. Here, okay, but I want to work my 38 hours. I want to make my.
That's fine. You could have just said that, but you're whining about gas prices.
I ain't whining about shit.
That ain't our problem.
I'm discussing. You use that as a problem.
Sounds like you rocking a MAGA hat right now.
You made it a problem when you close the store. Well, shit, it's too much for us to send our GM down there to audit. Well, so all of a sudden, now that I bring it up, it's a problem. Now we whining. The fuck out of here. You know what? No, I don't want to come back. Fuck you.
You know what? That's the answer I was expecting when I first asked it.
You know, I wouldn't mind going back. Like it was a good company, dude. Like it's easy work. Nothing was ever spot on. Nothing was ever done to completion, done or thought out well. Everything just kind of seemed like, ooh, try this. So what happened was, to finish my story, part of why they shut down is because they bought this company to help them move into the fintech space, which is financial technology, more online. Well, that company was being fucking sued. And apparently, our manager, the main guy, didn't know or thought that they were going to win it. Well, they ended up losing and had to pay $3 million. So they had to come out of pocket for the $3 million. Not to mention everything that they're borrowing right now to make the loans. Their interest rates are higher too, because they're borrowing from the government and everything's fucking going through the roof as far as interest rates. Obviously, they're not paying what they used to be. You know what I mean? They're paying a lot more in interest themselves, so they're gonna forward that shit onto the consumer. And then so they started losing their ass. And so then the company got sued because they were
taking 72 cents out of there.
What was that?
Taking 72 cents out of people.
Basically, no. What happened was they pride themselves on we're here to help the underserved community, compassion, care, whatever, whatnot. So when the pandemic hit and people weren't able to pay in Texas, they started overdoing it on collections. And they had something like, they had a huge amount of people that they were suing. And those people went and told the consumer agency in Texas, and they wrote up this big story. They got sued for suing people that weren't able to make the payments. Because, like in California, if you go to sue somebody in a business like this, you can sue them for the amount of money they owe you. I think it's 1 month of interest above and one late payment. Anything above that is exorbitant. When I worked at Aaron's, we could charge them for the product. We could charge them one home visit fee and one late fee, and 1 month's worth of interest. So basically, you got it for whatever cost was. And then you have to wait in line for garnishments. But anyways, so they got sued for doing that shit in Texas. So then they just stopped doing collections altogether for the most part. Like as far as suing people, taking people to court. So they lost their ass there. Like if you're like, I'm assuming their rate was probably about 25% first payment default. So right off the bat, they got their loan, first payment, they didn't make a payment and just said, Toma, thanks for the money, I'm out of here. and so 25%, that's a lot. Like if my store was doing about $200,000 a month in loans, 25% of that's a big chunk of money. And if you lose that right off the top each month, and you don't have recourse to go get it because the government's looking at you, you're fucked. So they lost their ass doing that. So during the last 4 years through the pandemic and all that, they started losing money. Part of it because they were being sued and bad practices, and they couldn't figure out how to recoup.
How involved were you as a manager in regards to people being overdue? Like, would you have X amount of customers that were late 1 month, 2 months, and were you getting reports on this?
No.
And all right.
Go ahead. And what?
And were you expected to try and do something about it?
No, and that was part of a conversation that I had with my supervisor. Was like, hey, have you guys ever thought about doing it like this? Instead of having a whole separate department for collections, let the collections department be in each store. Because if you came in and you were 10 days late, oh, cool, hold on just a second to me. Then you go grab somebody from the collections department because there's a bunch of notes in there from them trying to get a hold of you. You need to have a conversation with them. So then you pull out the collections man, hey, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Pacheco, thanks for coming in, appreciate it. You wanted to go ahead and make today's payment. Hey, we've been trying to get in contact with you about it. If you could just do me a favor, in the future, if you're not able to make the payment on time, if you could please just let us know what day you'll be able to come in and make the payment. That way we don't have to keep calling you, and you don't have to keep dodging the call. We know when you're coming. And that way I can put a note in the computer. Totally different conversation, right? Because these people would come in and they would give us the phone, and we could hear some of the messages that the people left, and we're like, holy shit, are they really saying that to people? They were saying crazy shit, dude.
Like what?
Like basically
I'm gonna
calling
take your first child.
Yeah, like basically calling them thieves and shit for the most part.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like I'm like, holy shit. And I said,
well, but then again, they're paying though, right? I mean, if that's what it took.
But then again, but also part of collections is being able to look at the account, right? And here's the other thing. Like, let's say you came in to make a payment, and your payment was due. Today's the 15th. Your payment was due on the 13th, but I see on the computer you always make your payment on the 15th. Must be your payday, right?
Okay.
Hey, Mr. Pacheco, I see here that you come in every 15th to make your payment. Will you be doing that for next month's payment, or will you be doing the payment on the 30th at the end of the month with your payday?
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't I go ahead and put a note in for the second? That way it gives you a couple of days, and you won't get any phone calls about your payment. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I make them that day all the time. You know, they just started it on the 13th when I came in, yada, yada, because you can't change the date.
You're trying to micromanage when a big company, like you just said, a big company like this, they don't got time to be dealing with 10% of your customers.
But it's not micromanaging. Here, wouldn't you rather, and I know what the fuck you're going to say. I don't even know why I'm having this conversation with you. But I would much rather have a conversation with somebody that I see on a daily basis, or that I see, every time I go in to make the payment, and say, hey, what's going on, man? I've been trying to get in contact with you. You haven't called me back. Just need you to give me a
But
call.
see, they're not having the conversation with the people they see every time they come and make a payment. You just said you wanted somebody titled collections that's working collections in the back office.
Well, that's because they're making the phone calls every day for the people that are past due, and they're trying to get in contact with them. So yes, when they come in, if they're a couple of days late, hey, your payment was due on, or if you collect a payment, set the payment for the next day. That way, when these guys come in, it's less phone calls that they have to make because you already put a promise in the system.
But if you're willing to do all that, why do you even need somebody from collections in your office? Why do they need to hire an extra body in the office if you're willing to handle all that?
Oh, I'm not willing to handle. I'm not because I put a payment promise in there, that doesn't mean so. Let's say the 5th rolls around,
Okay.
and your defaults or your late payments come up, or payments coming due, right? They're due on the 5th, so you don't call anybody that day. You wait until the next day.
Okay.
Or you can call hey, I was just calling as a reminder your payment was due today. You know about what time we'll see you in. Great. And then you put a note in. But the people that are up front taking payments aren't going to have time to do that. They're busy doing loans. They're already doing all this other shit. So you have your other department in back to make those phone calls, because you're talking about you're talking about putting on 100 accounts a month, if not more.
Right, of people being late.
No, not everybody was late.
Oh, so in general you have 100 accounts, or around 100 accounts in your office.
Brand new accounts every month.
Okay.
So there's no way that the people up front that are creating those accounts could call on the people that are late. So you have to have somebody in the back that's dedicated, because you have to have one round of phone calls done by the time you go to lunch. And then when you come back, you start your second round.
Okay. We know the purpose of the collections department. Their only job is to collect. And they're only collecting from people who aren't paying. So their tactics might be, oh my God, what did you say to these people? Oh my, did you hear what the recording that they brought? Well, I'm trying to get them in to pay us.
But you can't do that. That's illegal. There's certain things that you have to do, and there's a difference between, and there's different ways to collect.
Yeah. Can you please come and pay us? Because you do owe us. You did sign a payment.
Yeah, hey,
hey, goddammit, I'm gonna call immigration on you. You need to come and pay this now.
Wow.
And then, guess what happens?
Yeah, you won't get ass whooped in the parking lot.
They're gonna come in and pay. The collection dude did his job.
You can't say that. That's why they got sued, because motherfuckers were saying stupid shit. Holy shit. I'm going to call INS. No, you can't do that
But,
shit.
I mean, in the rental car business, part of my job, which I had many hats, was I get a report and said, these cars are overdue.
How many cars?
Let's say average 15 to 20 a night. And this was daily.
15 calls is nothing. We'd get you get 400 calls a day.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is our job, when it came time to handle that portion of my work, my job is to get that car in.
So you twist the cap back.
I'm just saying you have to have different tactics for different kind of people. And some people required the hard nose.
What do you mean by different kind?
Some people were like, oh, I forgot to call and extend my contract. I'm sorry. Okay. Some people, you call in 3 days, they're not calling you back. By the time you finally get a hold of them, they got attitude.
Because they drove that shit like it's a rental.
And guess what? You had to respond in a likely manner. Because, you need that car. You need that payment. You need to get that car off that overdue list. So whatever I needed to do that had to get done. So were threats made? I'm not gonna say yes. I'm not gonna say no. But you have to judge that conversation and how it was going.
And listen, you ain't got to tell me. I did collections in
You see
Oakland, fool. What?
So again, what you say, some of the things that they said, well, maybe those were extreme customers that were like, past due X amount of days.
But
with
then
X-
here's the other part of it, too. Let me tell you this. This is what it used to bug the shit out of me. Oh, well, these people are calling me because of my payment, blah, blah, blah. Ooh. So they're calling you because your payment's late? Well, yeah. There's one real easy way to solve that. Make your motherfucking payment on time, and ain't nobody gonna call you. Right?
So now you're talking like you're going for the business side, but yet, hey, we don't make
Yeah, because
change.
you used to get tired of motherfuckers coming in whining about, why they calling me because we late? Because you late. You just said it. You late. You ain't in here making your payment. You late. You ain't called. You don't take. You're not picking up the phone. You're not saying, hey, I'll be there on such and such a date.
And the collections people finally got a hold of them. Maybe used some strong tactics, but at the end of the day, they're there making the payment.
Nah, you wrong, Tony. You wrong. And you wrong for being with a company for that. Treating people like that just because they kept the car an extra day. Sometimes shit happens.
I remember one time we had a car. We knew it was an employee that took it. Couldn't prove it, but we knew it.
Okay.
And somebody had seen it one day somewhere. And so I had to go and get it. Now, we had reported the car stolen. Okay?
Okay.
So we had to go and get it. We had an extra set of keys to it. And it was by this person's house. The office was in Palm Springs. The person lived in Cat City. We found the car. My manager said, go get it. So I went and got it. And I brought it back. It was an ex-employee.
Okay.
So the car's back in our possession. Nothing wrong with it other than it being dirty and, but most important, we got our asset back. Okay? Next step, got to report the car unstolen so we can start renting it again. Right?
Okay.
So I call the police department. I told them, hey, this car... Oh, no. I forgot how it went, but I called, let's say Cat City. Okay? Got this car back. I found it such and such. Yeah, you have to call Palm Springs because that's where the report was taken. Cool. Call the Palm Springs office. Got this car back. Da-da-da. Yeah, you got to call Cat City because that's where it was at. That's where you located the vehicle at. It's like, I just want to report it unstolen. I just want to be able to, it's in our possession. Da-da-da. Yeah, you got to call them. Call them back. Nope, you got to call Palm Springs.
Because it was like right on the brink or like...
No, it was just, the car was in one city, but it was reported in another city.
Got it.
So what did I do? I drove that car up the street. I called 911. There's a car that's been sitting here. Here's the license plate number. It's been abandoned. We need you guys to handle it. And just hung up. Within 15 minutes, there was a cop there. Checking out the vehicle. Walked up the street. Hey, how you doing, officer? Hey, yeah, I work for Alamo. I think this is one of our cars. I think this might be one of our stolen cars. Yeah, it is. All right, cool. You think we can get it back then? Well, we're going to have to run some fingerprints and stuff. No problem. They came, did all that, and gave me the car back.
Wow. You're a shyster. Stealing from the city's resources just to make your job easy.
I wanted to make it easy on them. Stop. This car is no longer stolen. It's ours.
You ain't got to worry about this one. We got it. We good.
One time, we used to have a bus that we'd pick up because we were off the airport.
Okay.
Us and Thrifty Car Rental. We were the only two that were off airport. Hertz, Budget, Dollar, Avis, they're all at the airport.
Yours was right there on Ramon Road, though, right?
Yeah, it wasn't far. It was across the street, but we weren't at the airport.
You were around the corner from that vintage car place, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So our bus, we'd have a bus that went to the airport and picked people up, brought them back to our spot. Same thing, when they come to return it, we'd have to take them to the airport. A little shuttle bus.
Okay.
It was a bus, not a van. It was an actual bus. So we used to park it right in front of the facility, right on the street. So that way they could just take off when, because they'd have to pick up a phone at the airport, say, hey, my name's Mr. Smith. I got a reservation. No problem, sir. Just walk outside. Bus pickup. We'll have you there. We'll be there in 10 minutes. Busy season, we just had a bus driver that just went back and forth, nonstop, back and forth.
Really?
So when it wasn't busy, of course, we park it in the front. So if we get a call, take off. And then if somebody came to return a car, there's the bus right there, sir, right in front of the window. Just go ahead. We'll take you to the airport. So one day I remember renting a car, and all the dudes outside spoke Spanish. Nobody ever spoke any English. So I'm in the middle of renting a car, and one of the dudes comes in, and he looks at me. And so I look at him, and he's not saying nothing, so I go back to my work, but he's just standing there. So I'm like, what's going on? So then he comes walking up. He hands me a note. And so I'm renting the car, and when I'm done with the car, I read the note, and he says, bus stolen.
Oh,
So
shit.
I look out the window, and the bus is gone. So I go outside. I'm like, yo, what's going on? They said somebody just, because they would leave the keys in the ignition.
Oh, shit.
And then the doors that, where you walk up the steps, wide open. So somebody was just walking by.
Saw that shit, was like, it's mighty hot out.
Oh, man, that was funny. Another time, it was my day off, and I was at a laundromat on Ramon Road in Palm Springs.
Okay.
We were only insured. That bus was insured, could only go to the airport and back. That was it. We didn't do hotel pickups, home pickups, nothing. It was airport and back.
Okay.
So one day I'm at the laundromat, and I'm sitting out. The washer and the dryer were going, so I'm sitting out in the lounge, in the patio chairs, like staring at Ramon Road, and I remember just staring, and I saw the bus drive by going downtown Palm Springs.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, what the hell? So I had to go to a payphone, call the office, because at the time I was like the assistant manager. I'm like, where's the bus at? And they're like, I don't know. I'm like, well, is it there? And they're like, no. I said, I just saw the bus on Ramon Road going to Palm Springs. Who's driving the bus right now? Like, So it turns out they paid the dude like $10 to take him to their hotel.
Oh, that's fucking
And I was
hilarious.
like, come on, man. You can't be doing that.
Come on, what's an extra $10?
Speaking of buses,
Okay.
bro, you said, when's the last time you took the city bus?
I've never taken a city bus.
You've never taken a bus? Some
No.
bus?
Oh, I guess the last time I took a city bus, I was in San Francisco.
You never took a city bus growing up?
No.
Really?
Well, maybe one time with Manny at the end of the school year, and we went from Palm Springs High School to the mall.
Bro, I mean, we would take that bus when the Palm Desert Mall opened. Oh, kid. Get up early Saturday, take that bus to the mall.
Ride a bike everywhere, bro. I rode a bike everywhere.
Dog, we take that bus everywhere back in the day.
Matter of fact, I remember I had a 10-speed, and I left here, and before Monterey was here. So I'd have to go over the overpass on Ramon Road and drive up Bob Hope. So turn left on Bob Hope, take that all the way to Country Club, turn left on Country Club, and then turn right on Monterey to go to the mall.
You wasn't getting no girls.
Bro, I was in such good shape. I had fucking Popeye calves. I remember my parents had told me no, that I couldn't go, and it was overcast, and I had a flat. I blew the tire on the 10-speed right as I got to the corner of Country Club and Bob Hope, and I had to call from It was Palm Springs Savings Bank at the time. I had to call from the, hey, Dad, can you come pick me up? Why? Where are you, cabron? I'm over here, and I don't know what city it is, but I'm by the hospital right here at the bank. Cabron, what are you doing all the way out there?
Bro, we'd find out when the last bus was, and just like we got until this time at the most. I mean, if we wanted to go home early, we just see what time the next bus came.
Right.
But we go to the mall every Saturday on that bus.
Wow.
And then even when I was in high school, I would, freshman, sophomore, when I lived in North Palm Springs, going home, I'd have to take the bus. So I'd ride the bus all the time.
Right.
But I think high school was the last time I rode a bus until my trip to Chicago this past time.
Really?
Dog, I don't think my daughter has ever ridden a bus. Okay?
Okay.
But my son, living in a big city, that's how he gets around, bus and subway. So he knows them like the back of his hand.
That's crazy.
So we the day we went to the ball game, go watch the Cubs play, we were at a breakfast spot. And we were going to go to the Cubs. And we could walk there in a half an hour, 40 minutes. Okay? My wife and I did it the last time we were there.
Okay.
So right outside the restaurant, just a little bit further up, was a bus stop. And keep in mind, we've been Ubering the entire time we've been there. So we assumed we were going to take an Uber to the ball field. And the ball field is like, his street is Ramon Road just about. Not busy like that, but popular like that.
Okay.
And from his apartment to Wrigley Field is just a straight walk. You just walk in half an hour and you're there.
Okay.
The restaurant we were at is on his street. So he's like, yo, we're going to catch the bus. It's going to be here in like 10 minutes. And so we were like, initially it's like, all right, cool. So we get on the bus, sure enough, bus is there, boom, boom, boom. We get on. Bus is packed. So my old lady and my daughter grabbed a seat. Oh, my son did too. I stood. And, you just forget, like, all the stops you got to make.
Oh, yeah.
And people getting on and off. And when it's packed, you got to move. People trying to get in, trying to get off. Then we had that typical lady that's loud, that's trying to have a conversation with a stranger that's 7 people away. Oh, you got a beautiful baby. Oh, look at that baby. Are y'all married? Oh, it's like, oh, my God. And then my daughter's like, I can't believe this kid got us riding the bus. And I was like, you know what? You're right. However, I do have to admit, the bus dropped us off right in front of the stadium. Like, bro, dropped us off on a corner. We cross the street, and that's the stadium. Wow. So, I mean, he's got it down packed to where he knows.
He knows
just
what's what?
Yeah, but we just, again, I forgot what it is to ride a bus. And, again, I don't think my daughter's ever ridden a city bus.
That's fucking hilarious.
She was like, I can't believe this kid got us riding a bus. Oh, that is true.
How bad was it, though? Like, did it smell? Did it?
No, it was cool. I believe it wasn't that hot outside, so I can't say it had air conditioning.
Are the streets in Chicago narrow?
Side streets, yes.
But main drags are normal size?
Yeah. 2 lanes, though.
Okay.
So it's like 4 altogether, but you got parking and then lanes.
Okay. Because I remember I did, it must have been 90, 91. I'd gone to San Francisco. And we drove up there and I parked. And we want to go to Haight and Ashbury so that we can get some Doc Martens and shit, right? And I remember jumping on the bus, dude, and this fucking this bus driver driving, and people that are parked just kicking their fucking doors open, and it looks like this dude's just gonna fucking take their door off. Motherfucker didn't slow down for shit. I was like, fuck, dude. I said, is it always like this? He said, you didn't see me slow down, did you? Like, God damn, okay. I'm gonna sit back and shut up. And dude, it was just a fucking trip. And you're right. There was that lady down that bus too that was yelling at somebody else. There was some old man that was trying to get in an argument with somebody else. I was like, wow, like total fucking like culture clash, like something you like out of a fucking movie. You know what I mean? Like I'd never seen it before. I didn't ride the bus. I didn't know what it was all about. It's a trip, dude. That's a whole different world, homie.
It is.
Riding the bus and doing all that shit, so it's a whole different world.
And it's a trip because again, obviously, it's the way of living out there. So, he's used to it, and he knows the schedules and what number to take. It's just a trip seeing him do that, navigating through all that.
Well, I guess it's good that he's used to it though, but I don't know. I don't think I could live anywhere and not have a car. Like, because here you have to have a car. Everything's so spread out.
Here you do.
You know what I mean? Everything's so like you can't be without one. You know what I mean? So I don't know what it would be like to live somewhere where, I mean, fucking rent on a parking space is just as much as a house here or a fucking apartment here.
Like for example, if you were to walk from here to Circle K,
you pass out.
let's say you could do it.
Okay.
How long do you think it would take? Average person.
Fuck you trying to say? This motherfucker. You think I wasn't gonna catch that shit, huh? This motherfucker.
Somebody that don't have to take breaks.
That about a bitch. Probably like half an hour, maybe. I guess. Maybe 20 minutes.
Let's say 20 minutes. 20 minutes to half an hour. Okay. His house, his apartment.
Okay.
From here to the Circle K, that's gonna take you 20 to 30 minutes to walk. You're gonna pass 10 restaurants, and that's just if you took one street.
Oh, wow.
So if you took a different street, you're gonna pass another different 5 restaurants. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like those cities, just like in Oregon when I went, they're just built different. They're just you could walk. And when I say you're passing 7 restaurants, but you're also passing a Target, one of the neighborhood Targets, not the big joints.
Okay.
You're also passing. You pass a McDonald's. You pass a 7-Eleven. You pass 10 eyeglass places. So it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's all there.
Wow.
Which is why you don't need a car.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Jesus. Because here, closest Targets in Palm Desert? Yeah, Palm Desert.
Cat City for me.
Where's the one in Cat City?
By Upper Crust, by.
Oh yeah, on that side, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how little I travel to that side of town now. Everything I used to do was in Palm Springs, and now nothing. Every once in a great while.
But yeah, it's a whole different way of life over there.
Do you think now at this age that you can go to doing just the bus now?
Me?
Yeah.
No. No. No, I couldn't deal with people like that. It's one of those things you just got to put your head down and mind your business.
Yeah.
And which is what I would do. Or should I even say that's what I did? But I can't do that.
You'd go from a pocket full to a backpack full of sand. I'd call you the sand bandit. Holy shit. All right, brother. Any final words? Any final birthday shout-outs or anything?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me think. Just want to give a little note to my daughter, my baby girl.
Okay.
Her new position is a little tougher than she thought it was going to be.
Ooh.
So I just need to give her a little pat on the back. Let her know she's going to get through it. Every job worth having is going to be difficult at times. And she's just going through a little difficult time right now. It's not necessarily her that's having a difficulty as it is the department that she went to is new. So they're all trying to get their
bearings.
Their footing. So again, just do your work and you'll be all right. You'll get through it. everybody that starts a new job is tough in the beginning. She calls her mom venting, which is okay.
Right?
That's cool. She don't call me venting because I'll be like, "Shh, get your ass to work."
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
You
I would.
lying ass.
No, I would.
Oh, baby girl, don't look. It's gonna be okay. Look, Daddy will handle it for you. Who do I need to call? That's why
I
she
do.
don't call.
I do say, do they know what your last name is? So sometimes that'll open a door or two.
Yeah, exit doors.
Yeah.
Don't say that shit. Hey, real quick. For those of you that don't know, if you're listening from outside of our area, we live in the desert. So, Tony, I want you to look to your left and look down at the bottom. Is that a lizard tail
Where?
underneath the door?
I don't see it. Under the door?
Yeah.
I don't see anything.
We'll get a little closer because I can clearly see it from here.
Where?
It's about 6 inches from the corner of the door towards my side.
No, I don't see anything. So no, I'm gonna say no.
You don't see a tail right there?
Under the door?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that ain't no, that's not a tail. You see what I threw it at though, right?
Yeah, that's a break in the threshold, in the door jam. It's like you don't have one piece.
Oh, you're right. I thought it was one of them lizards that were brown and white. It looked like it from here. I was like, damn, I'm going to cut his tail off right now, watch it grow back. Anyways. So no birthday shout-outs or nothing?
Oh,
You're
no,
good?
we do. Our friend, MB, if you remember her, the white girl that goes to our parties.
Yes, yes.
Her birthday was yesterday.
Happy birthday, young
Happy
lady.
birthday. It was a big one, so happy birthday. My brother-in-law, Juan, his birthday's today, actually. Turns 67.
Woo, happy birthday, bro.
And we're going to Upper Crust to celebrate.
Nice.
Very nice. I ain't been in Upper Crust in a minute.
Don't matter, you ain't going to be able to eat none.
I've already thought, yeah, we're getting the small this time. Just for my wife and I. And in all actuality, it's my dad's birthday on Friday.
Oh, wow.
He turns 81. So, happy birthday, Pop. I'll probably call him on Friday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Checo.
I believe that's it.
That's it. Hey, guys, well, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we'll holler at you next week. Love you guys. Bye.